Most music producers I know have one dream, one big dream, and that is just quite simply to make a career off music, off making music. And I've been very fortunate enough to do that over the last few years. I've made over $365,000 in music production alone. I've bought Airbnbs, I've traveled around the world. I bought a bus that I put a music studio in, traveled around Europe 3 times. What else? I mean, there's loads of things, but ultimately they're all things that I really dreamt of doing, and music production funded every single one of those things. Now I am at a point in my career where I want to make a shift, and that shift is to help other people to follow their dreams in order to do this as well, and save you, the couple of years it took for me to make all the mistakes to get to a point of like having consistent income. Like, consistent income sounds really good as a musician. So today I want to talk to you about a few things, and the summary of those things is the truth, the struggle, the turning points, what the results were after I made those turning points, and why any of this matters for you. If you are new to this channel, if we've never met before, if you've never heard my name, that none of that matters, because all of that is very relevant to the fact that you don't need to build huge social media channels. You don't need to sell beats anymore. Like, you don't need to do all of these things that you've been doing for so long, maybe even years. Maybe you've even given up and you've gone and got another job to support yourself, or like side hustles. Maybe you're just working on music jobs you just really don't care about. I know a lot of people have gone over to like audio podcast editing and stuff like that just to have a bit of a career. All of that sucks. That's not what the dream was. And for the last few years, I transitioned from being a session musician playing live to following my goal, my dreams, and creating that income. So I'm going to share all of that with you on this YouTube channel. So maybe pause very quickly, hit subscribe if this is sounding good to you. And I'm going to share with you exactly what you need to do next. So let's start with the truths. As I started on this video, most producers I know have one big dream: to make a living off making music. Many of us grew up with that dream, and have been very passionately trying to figure it all out since. For me, I've only ever made an income off music, but most of it was live and performing, and I didn't really enjoy that world. I wanted to make that shift really consciously. So most quietly give up, and sadly I've got quite a few friends that are still in this process. It was kind of a bit of inspiration for me and helping them get to a point where they can start making money off music again, and quit the 9 to 5 and go back to music world. And it's not ever because of a lack of talent as well. It's mainly because people don't realize they're stuck in a game. A game is a weird term, but really all of this is a game. I used to play video games as a kid. I used to play outside a lot as a kid. And really, I enjoy so much of what I'm going to share because I see it now as just steps that I've got to take. And I know the steps that I've got to take. Really, my limits are just how much music do I want to make? How many hours are in my day that I want to be working? And really, the rest is endless. But all of that was me. I feel you. And so I was putting in crazy hours. That was a big struggle. Producing for friends, thinking that maybe doing some work for some friends might create the music that then gets me heard, and it just never happens. Trying to grow YouTube channels, trying to grow, ironically, you're watching this on YouTube, but I was spending a lot of time thinking that's how I was going to get work in. Instagram, TikTok now. A lot of people are trying to build their careers there, doing stuff they ultimately don't want to do. And everything I do now, honestly, I don't have to create any content in order to keep the cash flow coming in with artists. And I want to share that exactly why I feel bold enough to say that. The struggle of DMing random artists in the hope of a collab. What a horrible term collab is. Collab to me is like free work for exposure. It goes in the same place in my brain of frustration. And in fact, I push back on it quite a lot now. If somebody says oh, I'd love to do a collab, we should work together, I'm like, yeah, explain your definition of collab. I'd love to hear more. And often it's, well, if we work together, I can put it out on my channels and we can help each other. And you just don't need to entertain that world. If you're delivering a good service and working with people that want and need something, and you're able to find out what that want and need is, you don't need to do collabs. We can say goodbye to collabs. Some months I was making 100. Some months it was just 0. For the first batch of my music production months, I was living off the savings I had from being a session musician and traveling with that. So yeah, I was aware that I had that savings, but I was doing all the wrong things in that savings moment, in that savings time of my life. So deep down, I started to wonder, was I just wasting my time? Was I just wasting my money and my savings in all of this? And I thought success meant, going viral, landing a record deal, having some celebrity notice me. Is there an artist out there will somehow see my work and be like, here we go, we need to make a song together? Like, so unreliable. There's always been that saying of like, record labels will never find you. You have to find them. Now I just think landing record deals is the worst thing any artist could do. Same with music producers as well. So many producers getting signed to labels, to publishing companies. You just give away all your freedom. And also, I need to add, publishing deals only come about when you have proven and shown that you can make money. And if you've already figured out how to make money off your music production, really, they're just signing you because they want a slice of that. So why would you sign your life away if you figured out a way to do it? That's where I want to get you to. And I'm honestly, when you put your ego aside and you just have good income off producing for artists, it's amazing how many things you're like, actually, yeah, screw working all my hours to like create social media content. I just don't need to do that anymore. And everything shifts. So until then, I was grinding for low pay, free, and just in hope that one day someone was going to notice me and things were going to happen. That was the struggle. I hope that you guys relate to that. And I'm sorry that if you are relating to that, because it's a crap feeling. You feel in a corner, you feel against a wall, or like, even if you are making some money off your music, maybe you've just hit the ceiling that you just can't get beyond and you can't figure out why, and the frustration of that. And the biggest struggle I think I had was the feeling of not being able to plan my life, because I didn't know what money was coming in maybe 2 months time, 3 months time. I was only ever able to plan like 4 to 6 weeks ahead. And that sucks. That feeling is not fun. So the turning point for me was that everything changed the day I stopped chasing the big break. I wasn't chasing like, oh, it'll be fine because when this thing happens, it's all going to be good. I just stopped thinking that way, and I started thinking like a business. I was thinking, I'm basically a studio. I'm basically, providing a service at the end of the day to these people. So what service do people need in order to exchange money? Like, if I can understand the pains that people have and fix those problems, suddenly I'm thinking like a business. And that's how all businesses work. You think about PayPal. They fixed a problem of like online payments. You think about, I'm putting myself on the spot now. Even music gear, music equipment. You create something and you sell it because you're trying to fix a problem. You're saying basically other projects are inferior to ours. We've made something better, and that's essentially what you're doing. Like, there's loads of music producers out there that are just okay, or mostly just really shit at communication and really shit at deliverability and being very unreliable. So what you're doing is the same as any other business that sets themselves up to fix a problem. That shift was huge for me, mindset-wise. And I realized I didn't need all of the things. What do I mean by things? Well, I didn't need all the streams. I didn't need millions of streams. I didn't need loads of followers in order to get noticed. What I needed was systems. I needed to figure out a way to make my life and their life easier. And if both our lives are easier and more organized and the structures are in place to help me through this process, then I really was on a point of like, I was just in this cycle of just rinse and repeat. So I needed to solve those problems for the right people being artists. Sorry, I'm really bad at drawing with my Mac. The right people being artists. Like, who is it that I'm trying to speak with? Who do I connect with the most? And then ultimately get paid well for it. So the moment I switched my focus from being discovered, so building the social media platforms and how do people find me, to understanding just simply my clients' needs, who they were and what they wanted, things started to move pretty quick. And the results speak for themselves. So within months, I went from wondering if I should quit to working with high-paying clients who valued my skills. So in the first few months of making this shift, I did certain things that got me up to about 1,200 a song. That's about 1,600 US dollars or 2,500 Aussie dollars. And that to me was a real turning point. I was like, so I feel cheeky like asking this amount, but people are saying yes, like more than once, more than twice. People are coming back for more. I was like, okay, well, I'm obviously delivering something that people feel is this value. So how do I increase that even more? To this day, I'm now double that basically, and more. So between 2.4 and 2.8 is my average song production fee. And then that can go anywhere up to like album deals where I might give them a little percentage off. But I remember my first album deal, I got 2 of them within the same month. And they were short albums. I think they were like 6 to 9 songs. And it was £11,000. So what's that? 1,300? No, more than that. $13,000. And yeah, it's probably, it will be double that for, so 22,000 Aussie dollars, which is crazy. And that all happened within the first few months. And then within a year, it was consistent. I was getting 1,200 a song consistently. So you can imagine like 2 to 4 songs a month. You're like at a stage there where you can start quitting jobs and quitting the side hustles, etc. And really then it's just about how much more do you want to do. It's like a song a week would be 4 songs. It'd be 4,800. Just think about those numbers. What would 4,800 pounds do for you in your career right now? That's pounds, so that's like 9,000 Aussie dollars a month, or it's like 8,000. No, not quite as much as that. $6,000 to $7,000 or something like that a month. Like that's huge for 4 songs. And when you get the idea that this is just a rinse and repeat type process, and it's more about just like putting those systems in place, which I'm going to show you, it blew my mind. So it wasn't about luck. It was a simple process that I could repeat over and over again. And most producers never even think about this, let alone action it. I've forgotten a T there. Let alone action it. So you're already ahead of 99% of producers out there that just never even think about, how can I think about my career as a business more than a music producer? Now that sounds, a lot of you will probably be thinking, yeah, but I am a creative. I want to stay loyal to that. If you fix these things, you'll be doing way more creative than you'll be doing like boring business stuff. In fact, you'll be struggling to keep up being able to count how many invoices you've got out that need paying or are just out to be paid. And it blows my mind. So why does this matter for you? Well, specifically, I want to reignite this channel to give you more information. And the shift I want to make in my own life, I want this to be my biggest earning year, but producing less music. Free music, and this is all music production talk. Like I want to hit my highest big paying year by increasing my prices, by being better at delivering and pushing my boundaries all the time. And because I'll be producing less music, I want to fill that time with something else. I'm ready for a shift in my life. I want to like buy a house that I can do as like a renovation project. Start to think about family and that kind of side of the world. I'm 32 now. Yeah, and all those things that I'd like to make a shift in my world. So I'm going to reignite this channel to do specifically that, because I just wish, I've got this at the bottom as well, but I wish somebody told me this years ago, rather than having to figure it out myself and do all the mistakes, and some of them very expensive mistakes. So I'm not here to show you how to get famous. We're not here to like teach you how to do great social media, etc. There is going to be parts where I will talk about that, but that's just more like laying foundations. Once you've done it, you've done it. But then I want to, so not here to get you famous, but to show you how to turn your music skills into income. Even if nobody knows your name right now, you don't need to be famous. You don't need to have a huge following. Every video on this channel, I'm going to break down strategies. It might even be breaking down some music production, and we'll have some fun with that as well. But breaking down strategies that work in the real world. They're not just theory. Trust me when I say I've tested and tried a lot of these things. Some of the strategies I've been doing for years, and I just don't see the point in changing them. I might tweak them to get even more out of them, or I might add things to the process because technology changes, like AI changes, like all these things. But ultimately, like the theory behind all of those things has been bringing me income in for years now. So just to recap, most producers have a dream, but they give up. We've all felt that, where you're probably still here at the end of this video because of that very feeling. We talked about the struggles and thoughts that go through producers' heads. It feels crap when you feel like you need to get another job, or you need to listen to your family that are trying to tell you, like, what are you going to do for a career? Like, what are you going to do for... I remember at school, a careers advisor said to me, so what do you want to do for your career? And I said, well, I want to create music. And she was like, so what are you going to do to pay the bills? I was like, to be quite honest. And that really stuck with me. I'm 32 now, so that was quite a while ago in my life, and almost 20 years ago, and that really sticks with me, and I'm really passionate about making sure nobody else feels the same. We talked about the turning point, not chasing big stats, big numbers, but focusing on the artists themselves. That's going to be a really big mind shift. In fact, if there's one thing that you take away from this video, it's reconfiguring how you think about what you do. We are service providers at the end of the day, and that sounds shit on paper, but it's really fun when you get it right. And ultimately, if you get it right, it just means you're going to make more money, and you're going to make more music, which is ultimately what we all want. Within months, I was pulling in the cash. Like I say, like 6 figures. I haven't even talked about the fact that I've got a creative music agency that we do advertising and that side of the world. That's turning over 6 figures a year. And that's alongside all of this stuff. So there's a lot of info. There's a lot of knowledge that I'm still learning, but it's stuff that I want to pass on to you that can help you not fast track a lot of that stuff. So I want you to learn about it, and I want you to just copy me. You can obviously take everything that I say with a pinch of salt and do your own version of that, but everything I'm going to talk about is stuff that worked and works for me. So if you don't want to have to test new things, if you don't want to have to rethink further than what I tell you, that's totally fine. You can turn over a good income by just copying me. So that's it. That's where we're at. That's I guess the start. I hope you resonate with this video. You might be watching this and you've already seen another video of me talking about something like slightly similar, but I really want to hammer home that this is doable. This is possible. You can make an income and set your own goals. Your goal might literally be, I want to make £500 a month with music production. That to me would just be insane for me to be able to do that. I can get you there. If you want to make £5,000 a month, I can get you there. So I hope you are here for the long run. Some of you we may have met before in real life or online. Some of you, this might be the first time ever hearing me talk. I hope you're here to stay. I really do. I want to work alongside you. I want to learn stuff as well. I want to learn from the group. So I guess you're probably asking, like, what next? Well, first, subscribe, leave a comment about what resonated with you the most. Make yourself seen. There's other people that be watching this video that be feeling the same as you right now as well. So leave a comment. You might make a new friend down there, but also it will allow me to connect with you as well. Secondly, there is a link down below. I am starting a school for exactly this. It's going to be a community where we can engage, connect, talk, like-minded people, but also help each other through each stage of the process. I'm going to actually create a full course based on all of this. And the first few people that book a call with that link, I'm actually going to give you a full hour. We're going to build a strategy. We're going to build a journey from you to get from where you're at now to wherever you've dreamt of being. And as you go through that process, we will get to a stage where, simply put, you have a roadmap you could go away with, or we can put you into this course and start building that. And I want to create a ridiculous offer that's only going to be a quarter of the price that this course will be as well. So if that is something, if I've piqued your interest in some way, at minimum, we might as well book a call and have a conversation. And at maximum, that doesn't make much sense, does it? But you know what I mean? The best outcome could be that, like, I work with you for the next year to get you to a point of charging whatever you would like to charge. So go do all of those things. I'll see you on the next video. And I hope this has, got you thinking about your career in a different way and giving you some different perspectives. Any questions you've got, stick them down in the comments below. I will be very active now in my comments. This is the start of the journey for me as well, so it's going to be slow. You might even be seeing this in a year's time. But hopefully, if you are seeing it in a year's time, you'll be seeing the results and seeing a lot more videos and a lot more exciting stories of what's come off the back of all of this as well. But if you're here pretty soon, say hi. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you on the next one.